Race fans, welcome to round 3 of our 2025 SRAM Downhill Southeast Series here at Massanutten Bike Park. Longtime staple of US downhill, this track always shakes up the competition with its uniquely physical character. Gnarly square-edged rocks backed by a never-ending battlefield of loose baby heads and constant flux, making each lap full of surprises. The track brings more line choice, adding complexity as our riders look to piece together the puzzle for that top podium spot. Let's head down to the pits and check in with our racers and hear their perspective on this weekend's track.
Just wrapped up practice on an extremely rocky track here. You never quite know what the rocks are going to give you. Sometimes they kick you, sometimes you roll right over them. Key to going fast this weekend is going to be staying loose, whether it's the big, long rock slabs or some of the more granite-filled rocks towards the middle and bottom. You really have to watch out for those square edges that can break a wheel and end your run. So precision is going to be the key to getting to the bottom of the mountain safe.
I think a key factor for this track is obviously pumping and pedaling in sections, because it's really easy to mess up and get out of line. You just need to pedal or pump and just get back up to speed really quick.
Yeah, I think the top first gap into like that next bit of rocks is like super important, just to like carry your speed into that next motorway, because that kind of carries your momentum down the rest of the track.
At the party rock section, man, that was brought in, I want to say a year or so ago. The main line ended up being kind of mid-left. Today, I've seen a lot of riders going back to the original right line. That section right there is definitely another key section, because if you can flow through that, that carries so much more speed to like the next section.
The hardest part on this track, I would say, is probably the physicality. Here is just like, you're always in the chunder, so you just gotta stay on it. There's just so many rocks everywhere. Sometimes it's hard to remember exactly which corner you're on. There's a lot of these corners that look fairly similar because there's nothing like specific to them. Lines are really important, because once you're offline, then it's really hard to keep flow and good speed.
Towards the bottom of the track, we have everybody's favorite section, which is Massanutten's boneyard. It's a bunch of granite, marble, rocks just laid out relentless. At the very bottom of the track, you have the most arm pump you can imagine, and all you can really do is point, shoot, and stay off your brakes and try to bring it home to the finish line as fast as possible.
Hello race fans, Will Washam here in the announcing booth for round number 3 of the Downhill Southeast Series with Sean Grizz McClendon. And Grizz, you've been out there on the ground all weekend calling seating. What are we in store for in this pro women's final?
A physical track, and we've got an epic battle ahead for pro women. In 5th place and 4th, we've got Madison Lee and Lucinda Chewbacca. They come into this weekend both tied for 3rd place in the overall for points. Callie Stewart, round 1 race winner, in 3rd place, and Abby Ronka back for her first race in 2025. But going back to Callie Stewart, she was actually fastest at Split 1 and Split 2 in seating.
Yeah, it's a pretty big gaps here, Grizz, and I thought that was interesting as well, seeing Callie that far back, knowing she's got race-winning pace. But Shell Peugeot pretty comfortable there in the 1 spot in seating. She's won here twice before, so we'll see her later. But first, let's get to our hot seat rider. It's going to be Xana Logar. She did not start yesterday because she was partying it up at prom in Davis, West Virginia, but we're glad she made the trip down here. Let's see what she's got for finals. Xana Logar, fresh on that Future Frameworks program this year. She came out swinging at the TTC with 2nd place, Grizz.
Yeah, it looks like Xana still got her dancing shoes on. She's going to need them here at Massanutten. The trick to going fast at this track is to just pop every rock garden, miss every bump you possibly can. And Xana is one of the most impressive females in U.S. downhill right now. I'll just say it. She's ripping, Will.
Yeah, she's got a ton of experience at the young age of 17. She'll be going to the World Cups this year. Oh, and you can see just getting those transitions, keeping her speed together. It's a really crucial section, actually, in split number one. One of the only parts of this track where you're not going to be in a rock garden.
Yeah, right. I mean, these riders have about 20 seconds, if that, to kind of compose themselves, catch their breath. Other than that, they're just taking a beating, more or less, from top to bottom. And Will, you hear, it sounds like Xana's got some spokey dokes going on. I think that's a zip tie in her timing transponder, maybe sticking in the spokes.
Either that or, yeah, a stick or something from the track. I mean, it's some pretty raw, natural terrain up here.
It is raw and it is rough. I mean, this is hands down the most physical track on the entire downhill Southeast circuit. Very unique. And Will, you've got a lot of time with a shovel here, and you kind of helped redesign this course, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, we did some redesign here in 2023. Just kind of opened some things up as Xana playing the edges of the track right there. Try to take out some awkward corners, increase the speed. So she's actually going into a section that was fresh just a couple years ago. You can see it's already full of chundery rocks. 242 at split number 2. And that's 8 seconds faster than what we saw yesterday, Grizz. This is a flyer of a run.
Yeah, Xana absolutely setting the pace. And, you know, these girls have no idea what Xana would bring to the table this weekend because she didn't drop in for seeding, right? So she's setting a high bar for these ladies, and it is worth noting this track is running faster. This is the driest the track has been since it rained Friday night and Saturday.
Xana Logar is going to cap off a strong run of 3:14, so that's going to be 12 seconds faster than Shell Peugeot from yesterday. And Grizz, you know, Xana hit that huge tombstone gap up in the first rock garden. Take a look back at this, and yeah, here's later in that section.
Just great flow from top to bottom from Xana Logar, something you can expect. She's been just knocking her race runs out of the park consistently.
So Callie Stewart, we got 3 riders left to go out of Livingston, Texas, running for Boone Gravity Racing. Pretty aggressive right out the gate.
Yeah, good intensity right out of the gate for Callie. Oh, yeah, love that setup. Look at her, just got plenty of pop in these legs. See her back wheel just stepping out. I mean, Will, as you know, the square edge hits here at Massanutten are just unrelenting. I mean, I can't tell you how many riders were just cursed with flat tires in seeding and even in finals in the amateur categories.
Yeah, it's a wonder that folks actually make it down with air in their tires. It's a testament to these riders' skills, holding their equipment together. See split number 1 coming up here. Interesting to see what the time will be. It's a 55. Oh, it's right there on pace with Xana Logar.
Yeah, and it's a little bit faster than her first split from yesterday's seeding, so that does confirm. Oh, bit of a mistake from Callie right there. That's going to cost her big. You know, keeping your momentum up and minimizing those mistakes is the key to having a really good race run here at Massanutten. That being said, way easier said than done.
Yeah, absolutely, because you can just see every single one of these sections is going to throw you for a loop. Stewart is trying to let that bike dance underneath her. She comes in and out of the Party Rock section. A ton of lines in that available.
Yeah, and Callie doing a good job of really pumping and popping through this Massanutten track. I mean, as you can see, it is just unrelenting. The small bump suspension work is just, I mean, these forks and shocks are just getting hammered nonstop. I mean, more so than any track that we see throughout the season. I'll repeat that. I mean, this is the most brutal track of the Downhill Southeast Series.
So it's a 250.6, and it might be 8 seconds back on Xana Logar, but it's actually right on pace for where she was yesterday at that split. Is Stewart letting it go right there. That section's a lot more off camber than it looks.
Yeah, you know, Stewart's just made some small mistakes that have really cost her big. She's had some, you know, overall really good flow, but we've just seen her lose control, get the bike sideways, and have to just get back on the pedals to get up to speed, and it's unfortunately cost her a lot of time. But other than that, I mean, her riding is looking really good.
Yeah, Callie looks super composed through that final rock garden as Callie Stewart going to wrap up her run at round number 3, Downhill Southeast. Stewart will break the beam and go into 3rd place at 3:25. Right there on pace with Shell Peugeot from yesterday.
Well, Callie Stewart, like many of these ladies, is young. She's still figuring out her racecraft. And, you know, Massanutten, this is just one of those racetracks where you got to give it all or nothing. And hats off to Callie for just keeping it upright. Pretty easy to, and keeping air in her tires as well. And that's another key.
2 more riders left to go. Abby Ronka from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But down at 3:44 yesterday. Great to see Abby back at the races.
Yeah, and right away you can see Abby's form. She looks like she's got all the confidence. It's like she wasn't hurt or anything like that. She's got that nice attack position, really good pace out of the gate.
Yeah, that was clean from where I'm sat. I mean, it's just brutally flat once you get off those slabs there at the top of this track. You can see she's just begging for more speed. She exits that upper rock garden. She's a 2-time winner here at Downhill Southeast, won at Beach Mountain in 2022 and Trials Training Center in 2023. Was heavy on the World Cup circuit last year, but great to see her back domestically.
Definitely an Abby just getting through the one section where these riders catch a small break, and she's in touch here, Will. At split 1, 55.92. That is a good time.
Man, some of these little bushy trees on the edge of the track are just begging for mercy. You can see riders trying to paint the edge of that corner right there. It's just slightly turning left. Ronka getting some great pumps in right there.
Yeah, and once again, I mean, you can just see, oh, she's taking the wide line. Will, what's up with that line? She went way out using the left side of the tape.
Yeah, it's in play. The section up there is on a ridge. It's super wide. Went left right there, and it might be a little softer over there. You know, the more folks are riding along, the more these rocks are getting exposed. So maybe a prudent move right there, maybe choosing a smoother line, trying to save some energy.
Yeah, and that's a critical thing to do here at Massanutten. You got to just stay as relaxed as you possibly can, which, again, is easier said than done because you're just getting hammered on. The small bumps are just unrelenting. 250 at split 2.
Yeah, so she's in touch for a podium here. Second place right there at split number 2.
Yeah, she's made up some serious time from her seating run. Oh, big swap out. Great save. It's a big mistake, but it could have been a lot worse than that. So good save for Abby Ronka.
Yeah, that section is treacherous. It's deceptively steep, too. It's kind of hard to tell on camera. I know a lot of this track is flat, but there certainly are some spots where it's pitched down pretty aggressively. Well, Abby Ronka through that final boneyard rock garden. It's claimed so many riders over the years. Trying to put it onto the podium for her return to Downhill Southeast. Abby Ronka, she's going to go 4th. So won't be on the box today, but a great way to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, she was able to shave off 6 seconds from her seating time. And, you know, she rode the top here, like, right on these slab rocks. This was probably the best riding in a race run for Abby Ronka. But welcome back, Abby.
And our final rider, Shell Peugeot, dropping in, riding for Southern Gravity and OnlyFans. Shell loves it here at Massanutten. 2 for 3 on race wins here.
Okay, so you know Shell's got all the confidence to throw down a heater here at Massanutten. And look at her out of the gate. She is not holding back. Shell is flying, Will. Oh, taking this rider's right line here. That looked like it paid off for her.
Oh, super smooth. Caught a crank like in rhythm right there. Wasn't like a panic pedal or anything. That was just powerful from Shell Peugeot.
Yeah, and making good pump. This is the one section where these riders get to relax and catch their breath for a second and get ready to just get hammered for the next couple of minutes.
Oh, and she's green. A 54.2 for Shell came to play today. And look at the line right there.
Yeah, and on the cranks on the exit, looks like she's about 3 seconds faster than she was in seating, Will. So she's definitely finding some more pace out here on this track, which does confirm this track is running a few seconds faster than it was yesterday for seating.
And Shell again going to be on this left line that we saw Abby Ronka on. And I know Shell is motivated to take a win here. She beat Xana last year, and she's going to want to let the young ones know that she's still the queen of Massanutten.
Yeah, and Shell just looking comfortable on her Southern Gravity. I mean, this is what, her 4th race, I believe, on her new bike? And she just looks like they're gelling, you know? She's looking really good on her new bike.
Threw a little bit of a steeper bit right there, and you could see the pace visibly faster than the last 2 riders we've seen. No, she's still right there in touch. She's trying to hold this thing together. 241.95 is going to be all out on the final section.
Yeah, she's 10 seconds faster at split 2 than she was in seating yesterday. So not only is the track running faster, but Rochelle is running faster today as well.
Oh, nothing between Shell and the finish line but a white knuckle rock garden here at Massanutten. Crowd getting fired up to see Shell. Oh, it might have been a little bit of a bobble there. We'll have to see. She's got nothing to play with, though. She wants to take the win here. It was about 7/10 up on split number 2. Shell going to put some power pedals down. And it's going to be second place, a 3:18. Wow, took a lot of time off that seating, but not going to be enough to take Xana Logar off the hot seat. Let's take a look back at this run, Grizz.
She just gave the shout out to the prom queen. She knows she's got some serious competition with the young Logar sisters. But you know what? I think this section, I'm not sure if Shell was maybe just a little bit fatigued, but if you look at this next rock, she catches a baby head right about here. Right there, yeah. I think that's where she kind of hung up and lost some time, unfortunately. It cost her a lot of time on the exit of those rocks.
Well, let's go down and hear from Xana Logar, our winner.
Coming into the race, I wasn't sure how I was going to go since I missed Saturday practice and seating. So I was just going into the positive attitude, and, I love the course. So just went out and was going to see what I could do, and it worked out pretty good.
Well, your pro women's podium for round number 3 of SRAM Downhill Southeast. Xana Logar taking the win, Shell Peugeot in second, and Raina Logar rounding us out in third. Pro men's seating results from yesterday, Grizz. It's a little unique that we only have one former winner in this field that we're seeing on the screen for pro men, but we've also got a former winner of a downhill race at Massanutten in the announcing booth, and that would be yourself.
That's right, Will. Claim to fame, baby. Won here in 2009, beat Neko Mullally when he was just a little booger eater teenager. But you look at this top 10. First, Will, let's talk about the points race coming in. We've got Colin McKellier in 5th coming into the weekend, so he could potentially take over the points lead with a big result here this weekend.
Yeah, Jordan Bolden is also right there in the mix. He's 7 points back on McKellier in the overall. And young Slade Gainey, he's put together 2 solid rounds so far. He's just 10 points back on the overall, and we're going to see him in the top 8.
That's right, but you can tell it's really about these top 3 riders. Neko Mullally, Chris Grice, and Lucas Dodora. They just dropped the hammer and really separated themselves from the rest of the pack. So barring anything catastrophic, which we did have a lot of flat tires and seating, we know where the top 3 podium battle is really going to be.
And our hot seat rider, none other than Nick Frazier, riding for Southern Gravity, a man that had a breakout ride here last year with a second-place finish in Pro Men.
That he did, and you know what? He had a flat tire in seating yesterday, so, Nick is one of these riders. I'm not surprised to see him, the hot seat rider, coming into the replay here. I was wondering, all right, how much time did he leave out on the track with a flat tire? He's smashing, Will.
Yeah, he is. 47.2 there at split number 1. Yeah, interestingly enough, that's 4 seconds off the pace from Neko Mullally. What do you think about conditions today, Grizz?
Yeah, so that's in touch. You can certainly build some pace. To be 4 seconds back at split 1, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to really fight for a podium, but Frazier really setting a high bar, 2:12.17 at split 2. Where does that put us from yesterday, Will?
Well, he's actually clawed back time from our fastest second split yesterday. Lucas Dodora was 2:07 at split number 2, so Frazier really building into this one.
Yeah, and this rock garden is critical. Frazier absolutely flying with great exit speed. Look at the sprint out of there. Wow.
Well, Nick Frazier from Southern Gravity kicking us off here. It's a 2:40.8, so he's 6 seconds off the fastest time from yesterday. We saw those big gaps in seating results, so he's really sitting, right about 5th place from yesterday's seating times.
Exactly, yeah, he's inside. He's faster than Colin McKellier's seating time from yesterday, and Nick Frazier just threw down an amazing race run. Textbook how you need to ride Massanutten.
Here's our top 8. Ronnie Vance kicking us off from Take Aim Cycling and Hand Up Gloves.
Yeah, Ronnie, I was talking with him in the pits on seating day, and he was really talking about how he's coaching his riders to just relax and flow, and whatever mantra they need to come up with, use it, but just relax, relax, relax. That is the goal of the weekend for Ronnie Vance, and he's a veteran now at 30 years old. Him and Neko are the old dogs out here this weekend.
He's got 7 downhill races at Massanutten under his belt, Grizz. His best finish in Downhill Southeast was actually right here in 2022. He's up by 1.47. He's doing it on his home soil, the man from Virginia.
Yeah, and you can hear him. He's got his breathing locked in, so he is locked in the zone and absolutely on the rails. And you can tell he's riding the track. He's not allowing the track to ride him. Keeping the tires nice and straight.
Oh, yeah, straight down the gut through Party Rock. And I got to correct myself, Grizz. It's not really home soil. It's home rock. here in Massanutten for Ronnie Vance, because this is just some super unique terrain you only get in Virginia.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, I was telling people all weekend, the riding here at Massanutten really reminds me of the trails in Southern California I grew up riding. A little bit worse, you know, more square edge hits, but oh, Vance losing some time. He's 3 seconds into the red at split 2.
Oh, very loose into that chute right there. Camera totally doesn't do that justice. You got to be really precise. Oh, I think the fingers are wrapped around the bars. Was that a death grip from Vance?
Yeah, it may as well be. Up. Nope. Yep, I see the coward fingers are up on the levers, but not pulling those levers. So Ronnie Vance charging.
He pulled that time back, Grizz. 2:41 right there in touch with Nick Frazier.
Respectable ride for Ronnie Vance. And, yeah, he is just breathing heavy. He kept his breathing locked in from top to bottom. And, again, executed phenomenally from the gate to split 1. Not sure what happened at split 2, split 3 to the finish, but great ride.
Well, Slade Gainey from Greenville, South Carolina, another one of the young riders bumping up into pro. He's really been making some noise because he's right there in touch for a good overall position already after 2 rounds.
Yeah, Slade Gainey really coming into the mix here in the pro field at the Downhill Southeast races. Curious to see what he's able to do from split 1 on down to the finish line. He's at a really good top section here and making quick work, catching his breath here in that motorway. Oh, wow.
Well,
into the
up,
green.
Yeah, 1.37, although as soon as he came through that split on camera, he hit a massive square-edged hit. Saw him do a big push-up on the bars. That RockShox boxer just screaming underneath him.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to mention that Ronnie Vance was actually riding an inverted fork, and I think this is the kind of track where an inverted fork would really come into play and be beneficial. Because as we see these riders, you look at Slade, his wheels are deflecting, and everybody's wheels are deflecting, and that's the key to this race is controlling that deflection by staying as relaxed as you possibly can.
Wow, Gainey looking strong. Getting bounced all over the place, but he's not looking phased at all.
No, looks like he's building pace, and yeah, he is. He's 1.5 into the green, so he's found over 6 seconds of time from his seating run, Will.
Yeah, that's incredible. I loved that entry line he had around that right-hand corner into the steep section, was kind of going right across all those off-camber routes. And at this point, your line doesn't matter. You're just looking to the exit. Oh, Gainey getting a little kicked.
Woo! Narrowly avoiding that tree on the exit, but holding it together.
No, and Gainey held it right together to the end. He's going to cross into the hot seat, 1.5 seconds up over Nick Frazier, and he is pumped.
He is fired up. First rider on the day to go under 240. You know, this could be a competitive race run, Will. He found a lot of time. He shaved a lot of time off his seating, so let's see what happens next.
Jordan Bolden's out of Knoxville, Tennessee, riding for Gear Work and Mountain Training System. Another one of those pro riders pulling double duty, doing some coaching through Mountain Training Systems as well.
Yeah, Will, this is the era where a lot of these pros are coaching simultaneously while being competitive, and you love to see it. I mean, it has really changed the face of the sport, and we can see the pace of these amateurs. A lot of these Cat 1 racers are nipping at the heels of these pros, and it's because people like Jordan here passing down the knowledge.
Oh, Jordan smashing up here. He's just 1 second into the red, so plenty of opportunities to pull that back. Gone outside line, try to find a little bit of dirt there amongst the rocks.
Yeah, he hasn't really pulled in any time from his seating run, but he's still in the fight here, Will. As long as you keep air in your tires and keep your breathing locked in and stay relaxed on the bike, I mean, anything can happen. He's got to find some more time out there on the track today, but taking good lines and riding smart so far.
Yeah, he's got his best downhill southeast finish ever in the pro field here in 2022. Also got to shout out the Appalachian State Mountaineers cycling team. Jordan Bolden, an alumni, doing us proud.
Absolutely, making quick work of that section, hugging the outside, great speed in and out. Wow, but he's losing a little bit more time, 2.48 back. He is 3 seconds faster than his seating run yesterday, though, Will.
Yeah, he's letting it loose down here at the bottom. Was still in third place, though, even being a couple seconds back. Bolden enters this boneyard rock section.
Yeah, you can really see the deflection in this little baby head rock garden. Good exit on the cranks to the line.
Jordan Bolden crosses the finish line. He goes fourth, 242.25. Like you said, Grizz, this is going to be a really competitive podium, trying to get those bottom two spots there, second, third, and fourth. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you see Bolden right here just kind of swapping out. I think it's those minimizing those swaps as much as you can is, key to going faster and getting under the 240. Chris Liebig for Defiant Racing and Monster Army. Our winner from last year is on track. Yep, you stole the words right out of my mouth when Chris Liebig had a breakout ride here last year along with Nick Frazier. But, yeah, Liebig hoping to repeat from last year. It's a tough thing when you go to a track and you can win. I'm wondering if Chris is expecting to win here because he did it last year. Yeah, he's finding his footing in the pro class. Took that win last year, of course. This season hadn't quite been as easy, but he's been in the mix. I mean, we've got these huge pro fields here downhill southeast. Oh, and speaking of in the mix, he is green by a second. Yeah, he is a second, a little bit over a second faster than his seeding run and almost a second into the green at split one. So it's looking good for Liebig. And look at that pop. I mean, that's how I would try to ride this track. If I was out here back in 2009, you'd see me doing stuff like this, hopping. Oh, man, Liebig even finding a little bit of backside there on the rock slab and Party Rock. You see the difference with Liebig opting to pop and get over rocks. His bike is deflecting a lot less, which we've seen that cost riders some serious time, like Jordan Bolden. Taking a middle line through here for Liebig. Split number 2 coming up now. Lost just a bit. Oh, he shuffled back to fourth. Man, he is in that section of riders that's just on the same second. Second, third, and fourth. Just pick your position. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's maybe some things happening off camera. We got a lot of camera work out here this weekend, but woo, getting buck wild. That last rock garden. It's a spicy one, Will. Well, Liebig's going to go into 7th. It's not going to be a fairy tale ending back-to-back, but a lot more racing ahead for this young man. Yeah, you can tell he had that shake of his head of a little slight disappointment. He made some little mistakes that he knows cost him. He was on a good run, but you know what? He kept airing his tires, and he kept it on upright. Well, Colin McKellier out of Laguna Niguel, California is on Defiant Racing this year. It's been great to see him out on the East Coast. Oh, tap the nose right there, gapping onto the slabs. Yeah, that is the intensity and flow it's going to take to be on the box this weekend at Massanutten. And McKellier, like his teammate Chris Liebig, just floating like a butterfly on this top section. Really good pump, really good pace. McKellier looking sharp. Oh, and he's right there at the sharp end of the time. It's a 44.84, so a little over a second behind the fastest split one we saw yesterday. He's right where he wants to be. Yep, and he has found a second. He's a second faster than he was at split one yesterday. So can he keep building into this race run? He's going to need to go well under a 239. He'll need to be aiming for 235 or under. So we know the fastest times yesterday were 236 and a 234 by Lucas Dodora. And this track is certainly running a bit faster than it was yesterday. So McKellier has his work cut out for him. Going inside here. Yeah, I mean, he's looking fresh, Grizz. He's riding aggressively, not seeing any mistakes, and I think he sees an opportunity here. He has 2 8th-place finishes on the season at Downhill Southeast rounds 1 and 2, and it really is an opportunity for him to separate himself. He's still in touch. He's 3rd place at split number 2. Yeah, if he just really hangs it out here in these lower rocks, he can reel that right back in. There's the little small double. You saw him kind of pop and get some backside after that steep off camber section, so he's pinned. He's dialed in. Colin McKellier trying to put it on the podium here for Defiant Racing at round number 3 of SRAM Downhill Southeast. McKellier, he goes fastest, a 239.14. Yeah, that was a great run from McKellier. Oh, he's satisfied, but thinks he left some time out there. Hats off to all these riders for just 1, keeping air in their tires, and 2, keeping it upright, because this is not a track you want to go down on. Well, let's hear from McKellier in the hot seat.
I found it super slippery in seating, which is like way different than what I'm used to. I asked the other riders, they didn't struggle. So when I saw sun on the forecast today, man, I was relieved. So I had a lot smoother run, so that's good, but still, I'm like missing that last bit of pace. So I'm curious what the last guys are gonna do.
Well, there's only 3 more riders left at the top of the hill, and Neko Malali Going to get this race run started off with a bang here.
Holy cow, is this in fast forward right now? Rick is flying.
The wily veteran, 32-year-old Neko Malali just put on a clinic there in the flat upper section.
No kidding. I mean, that pace was second to none so far. I'm curious to see where he's at split 1.
A 42.
2.14.
Yeah, well, that's about a half second faster than he was yesterday.
And he is just building and building. You see that front wheel deflection? That's not going to bother Rick at all. He is just motoring here at Massanutten. Look at that, taking the outside line, Will.
Just floated across all.
Yeah, look at the pace that he was able to exit there with it. That was unbelievable.
Oh, Malali is on one right here. He's got 7 downhill races on the books in his career at Massanutten. Of course, the one he wishes he had back in 2009.
Yep, he never beat me here at Massanutten, so I always have a good time coming back to Massanutten. Fond memories. And why are you kidding me? He's almost 8 seconds into the green at split 2, Will.
2:04.48. That's 3 seconds, over 3 seconds faster than what we saw from Lucas Dodora charging.
My goodness, Malali is absolutely on the gas here today. Rocking the 26 plate. My man.
Didn't detect any touch of the brake right there in the final rock garden. Malali not going to leave anything on the table today. A 2:31.45, 8 seconds into the green. What a run, Grizz.
Unbelievable. Just total domination, top to bottom. Getting a hug from moms. You got to think Rick is proud to put that one together. I mean, that was just a masterclass of how to ride Massanutten.
Yeah, if anybody knows how to do it, it's Neko. Been coming here ever since he was a junior. Right in between the Northeast and the Southeast. So everybody kind of comes together here at Massanutten. Chris Grice, 2 riders left to go, riding for Generation Specialized out of Pisgah Forest, North Carolina. He was second at round 1, Grizz. There's only one more spot on the podium that Grice wants to get.
Oh, Crispy just saw Neko throw it down out of the gate, and he is just following suit. Not going to call it a grudge match, but we've got an epic battle between the Brevard boys here, Neko and Chris Grice. So I'm not sure what the wager is here for this weekend. I heard something about chamois butter application for a month. Not sure what the stakes exactly are, but Chris Grice is hungry, and he is green at split 1. Oh, getting a little sample of the trees over there. Will.
Yeah, he
you
just
see
took
that?
a mountain laurel with him on his pedal.
Yeah, holy cow. But what I was going to say is Chris Grice is due for a big result. I mean, this dude is capable. He's ready and just due for a win. It's only a matter of time.
Absolutely. He's right there on the precipice of a big win here at Downhill Southeast. He's also right there on the edge of the track. Almost took our cameraman out at Party Rock.
Yeah, really liking the lines from Crispy here. Whoa! What a save. He just smoked his pedal but held it together.
The young man has been in the gym. Oh, and he's still managed to be green. Took a different line there, hopping over a rock.
Dude, you see that drift he just pulled off? Crispy is not holding back in the slightest today, Will. This is impressive riding.
Well, he knows he can't afford to because he's racing Neko Malali and Lucas Dodora for a win here. Oh, clean from where I'm sat.
That pedal strike could be the difference, though. What's the time going to tell us? Oh.
Second place, a half second off the pace from Neko. Wow.
Unreal.
There's so much to this track. And like you said, Grizz, that one pedal strike held him up and could have been the difference.
I mean, that was an epic battle. Back-to-back runs. Crispy and Neko on the same second, just battling for knobby widths of a time. Unbelievable. There it is. That was where the race just went to Neko.
There's only one more rider left that can knock Neko Malali off the hot seat, and that is Lucas Dodora out of Huntington Station, New York, making some noise on his return to downhill racing in 25.
Yeah, Dodora absolutely on the pipe out of the gate. Are you joking me? Showing that he really, really deserves to be on the Future Frameworks race team. Grabbing cranks where no one else has. Dodora absolutely flying out of the gate, Will. This is impressive.
Oh, man, you can see he's just gelling with this bike right away. And I know he's so excited to be back on track. This is right where he wants to be. He's a little bit back from Neko, so 1.34 back from the young man from New York.
Yeah, I think his intensity and pace is still the same, but he's had a little bit more wheel deflection than we just saw from Neko and Crispy. But look at the commitment. He is just nosing into these rock gardens. No fear, Will.
Yeah, looking really smooth. This right-hander right there, pretty crucial. You can see Dodora carried a bunch of pace out of there.
Yep, opting for the same setup as Neko here. Going outside a little bit. He lost a little bit more time there. He didn't get the tidy exit like Neko did. Or Crispy.
Yeah, he was a smidge late around that tree. You could see he had to anchor up and make a little extra turn.
Oh, the huge
Dodora's
mistake, and he's
loose.
down. Oh, no, Dodora hitting the deck.
Well, he landed in some of the only dirt on this entire track, thankfully.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to crash, that's probably that or the motorway. That would be where I would want to go down, and the only places I would want to go down. So, shoot. Not going to be Dodora's day, but what a run. I mean, what a battle.
Yeah, Lucas won't be on the podium, but a really successful return for racing for this young man. A lot of big things ahead of him. Going World Cupping this year in his age 18 junior season. He'll finish up 8th place.
I mean, top 10 with a yard sale. Like, that's welcome back, Lucas Dodora, and best of luck at your World Cup campaign.
Well, there's Neko and Crispy sharing a little hug right there. But they're about to get some cash money, stand on that podium. Let's take a look back at that crash.
Man, he almost saved it right there, Will. But, yeah, like you said, that is probably the only place where there's dirt. So, good place for Dodora to.
Yeah, it's super fun coming up here to Massanutten. Such a nice place, nice resort. I've been racing here since I was a junior. I had a really good race run, probably the best I could have rode. Rode the top really well, then cleaned through the middle and bottom. Crispy and I had some banter, even right before the start, about who was going to be on top. I've taken him under my wing, and he's been training with me for a bunch of years, so I'd like to think that's a little motivation and pushed him too. And he's probably a better rider, just had a couple mistakes out there today, so hopefully that motivates him a little more to take it to the next level.
Well, your pro men's podium for SRAM Downhill Southeast. Neko Mullally standing on top, Chris Grice second, and Colin McKellier in third. He's going to get a lot of points towards that overall. It's exciting to see how the season is shaping up.
That's a wrap for round 3 of our SRAM Downhill Southeast Series here at Massanutten Bike Park. It's another awesome weekend of racing here in the beautiful state of Virginia. Join us again May 16th through 18th as we return to Windrock Bike Park in Oliver Springs, Tennessee for round number 4. On behalf of myself and the entire crew here at the Gravity Co-op, we want to thank you for supporting US Downhill.